Welcome to a journey back in time, to the rugged and often misunderstood world of the Vikings. When we picture these legendary Norsemen, images of long ships, fierce warriors, and grand feasts often come to mind. And at the heart of these feasts, two beverages reign supreme in our popular imagination: mead and beer. Indeed, historical evidence strongly supports this perception. Mead, a fermented honey drink, held a significant place in Viking culture, often associated with celebrations, rituals, and even poetic inspiration. Beer, brewed from barley and other grains, was a staple, consumed daily by all social classes, including children, due to its nutritional value and safer alternative to water. These drinks were not just intoxicants, they were integral to social gatherings, religious ceremonies, and daily life, reflecting the ingenuity of Viking Age brewing techniques. However, amidst this rich tapestry of mead and beer, there's a curious absence in the popular narrative: wine. Why is it that wine, a beverage with a long and storied history in many ancient European cultures, seems almost unseen in our understanding of the Viking Age? Was it truly absent, or merely overshadowed by the cultural dominance of mead and beer? In this video, we'll delve into the historical realities to uncover why wine remained largely out of sight, out of mind for the average Viking, and explore the factors that contributed to its unseen status. 2. The reality of Viking wine consumption. While mead and beer dominated the Viking Age drinking landscape, the notion that wine was entirely absent from Viking society is a simplification. Historical and archaeological evidence suggests a more nuanced reality. Wine, though not a common beverage for the masses, was indeed present, primarily as an imported luxury good. Its presence was largely confined to the elite, serving as a symbol of wealth, status, and connection to the broader European world. Archaeological finds, particularly in trading centers and elite burial sites, have yielded remnants of wine amphorae and glass drinking vessels, indicating the import of wine from regions like the Rhineland. These discoveries, while not widespread, confirm that wine was part of the material culture of the Viking Age. For instance, wine amphorae have been found at Hedeby and Dorestad, significant trading hubs, suggesting that wine was traded along established routes. The presence of these vessels implies that wine was consumed, albeit by a select few who could afford such an expensive commodity. Literary sources, though not less direct, also offer glimpses of wine consumption. Old Norse sagas and poems occasionally mention wine, often in contexts of feasting among jarls or kings, further reinforcing its association with the upper echelons of society. These mentions, however infrequent, suggest that wine was known and appreciated, even if it wasn't a staple. It's crucial to remember that these literary works often depicted idealized or heroic scenarios, and thus might not fully represent the everyday reality for the majority of the population. It's important to distinguish between imported wine and locally produced wine. Due to climatic and geographical constraints, large-scale viticulture was not feasible in the Viking homelands of Scandinavia. Therefore, any wine consumed would have been imported. This reliance on imports made wine a costly and rare commodity, accessible only to those with significant wealth and access to trade networks. The limited archaeological evidence and literary references, when viewed in this light, paint a picture of wine as a prestigious, exotic drink, rather than a common refreshment. Its consumption was likely a deliberate active display, showcasing the host's prosperity and connections to distant lands. In essence, while wine was not entirely unseen, its visibility was limited to specific social strata and geographical locations. It was a drink of power and prestige, a testament to the far-reaching trade networks of the Viking Age, but it never achieved the widespread cultural significance or daily presence of mead and beer. 3. Geographical and climatic constraints.
5. Cultural significance of mead and beer. Beyond the practicalities of production and trade, the cultural significance of mead and beer in Viking society played a crucial role in wine's unseen status. Mead and beer were not merely alcoholic beverages. They were deeply interwoven with the social, religious, and mythological fabric of Viking life. Their importance far transcended simple consumption, becoming central to rituals, celebrations, and the very identity of the Norse people. Mead, in particular, held a revered position. It was often associated with the gods, especially Odin, and was believed to impart wisdom and poetic inspiration. The concept of Valhalla, the Hall of Odin, where fallen warriors feasted and drank mead, underscores its mythical and spiritual importance. Mead was consumed at significant events such as weddings, funerals, and religious sacrifices, solidifying bonds within the community and connecting mortals to the divine. The act of sharing a horn of mead was a powerful symbol of camaraderie, loyalty, and honor. Beer, or ale, while perhaps less mythologically charged than mead, was no less culturally vital. It was the everyday drink, brewed in almost every household, and its production was often overseen by women, highlighting their important role in the domestic sphere. Beer was a source of sustenance, providing calories and a safer alternative to water, which was often contaminated. Its consumption was a daily ritual, fostering a sense of normalcy and continuity. Feasts and gatherings, whether large or small, invariably featured copious amounts of ale, serving as a social lubricant and a means of communal bonding. In contrast, wine lacked this deep-seated cultural resonance in Viking society. It had no indigenous mythological ties, no long-standing traditions of production, and no widespread daily consumption. While it might have been appreciated for its taste or novelty by the elite, it remained an outsider, a foreign import that never truly integrated into the core cultural practices surrounding drink. The existing cultural framework, heavily invested in mead and beer, left little room for wine to establish a comparable level of significance. The Vikings had their own cherished beverages, steeped in history and meaning, and these were more than sufficient for their needs, both practical and spiritual. 6. Conclusion. Reevaluating the unseen. In conclusion, the perception of wine as an unseen beverage in the Viking Age is largely accurate, though not entirely absolute. Our exploration has revealed a multifaceted explanation for its limited presence and cultural impact, stemming from a combination of environmental, economic, and cultural factors. Firstly, the geographical and climatic constraints of the Viking homelands made large-scale viticulture impractical, if not impossible. The cold northern latitudes simply lacked the conditions necessary for successful grape cultivation, forcing any wine consumed to be imported. This inherent limitation immediately set wine apart from the readily available and locally produced mead and beer. Secondly, as an imported good, wine was a luxury item. Its journey across vast distances, coupled with the risks and costs associated with trade, made it an expensive commodity, accessible only to the wealthiest members of Viking society. For the elite, wine served as a status symbol, a testament to their wealth and connections, but it never became a drink for the common folk. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, mead and beer held an unparalleled cultural significance in Viking society. These beverages were deeply embedded in daily life, social rituals, and religious practices, forming an integral part of Norse identity and mythology. Wine, lacking these indigenous ties and traditions, could not compete with the profound cultural resonance of mead and beer. The Vikings had their own cherished beverages, steeped in history and meaning, and these were more than sufficient for their needs, both practical and spiritual.